Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Veterans Day and happy 249th birthday to the U.S. Marine Corps. I have a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues, clients, extended family that mean the world to me that are veterans. And a good portion of them are Marines, so this is a very special day to them. And anybody that knows me knows how devoted I am to the veterans, especially the veterans I treat and that are friends of mine. The veterans and their families are very special people in my world. They have sacrificed life, limb, and their mental health to defend and protect each of us, anyone living in the United States. They've done everything within their power to keep us safe night and day. And saying thank you is so trivial. You know, I've talked to men and women. I have not talked to any of the canines, but I do talk to the men and women. And I know firsthand their account, their sacrifice, what they have given up for us. I talk to the families who are dealing with the loss, the grief, who are now caregivers, and it's not easy. And if something that just pisses me off beyond belief is someone will say, well, they knew what they were getting into when they signed up for it. Okay, they knew. Yep, they knew about combat. You know, I'm sure most of them have gone deer hunting or had target practice and, you know, growing up. But that's different than being in combat. That's different than taking a life. That's different than being shot. That's different than having the person next to you blown up. That's different than your Jeep hitting a mine and losing your legs, losing your arm. They knew. They knew what they were getting, you know, it was a possibility. But that doesn't mean it isn't just mind-blowing. It just changes you forever. And people expect these kids to come home and act like nothing happened, like they did before they left. No, honey, it's not the same person. You go into combat and you come out, you're not the same person. You never will be. You grow up fast. You see things people shouldn't see. You experience things that you would never believe that you would witness. And it's all part of war. And war is very ugly. The things they witness day in and day out, people shouldn't have to witness. But they do this to protect us, to protect me, to protect my son and his family, my granddaughter. I am a child of the 60s. I was born in 59. So yes, I am 65. I am older than dirt. So I grew up during the Vietnam War, and my eldest brother served. He was career military. And in the 60s, you know, we had dinner at the same time every evening, of course, and the TV would be on. And I remember watching Walter Cronkite. And many times Mom would get up and turn it off. Now, keep in mind, TV in the 60s is not like it is today. And the footage we were being shown for back then was very graphic. It was black and white for the most part. And it was very traumatizing. And my mom did not want a little girl to see this. And I remember so many times she would say, oh my God, no, and just get up and turn it off. I think part of it, she was afraid, you know, she had a son serving, and, you know, she didn't want to watch this and think about her son over there. And I appreciate that. I would understand that. But as a little girl, it was it really had a big impact on my life. My other brother is 9 years older. I have a sister 16 years older, a brother 15 years older, and a brother 9 years older. I'm the baby. And my brother, who is 9 years older, had friends that were drafted, and I remember that very clearly. I remember when one of his friends, Marshall, was wounded and came home. And I will never forget that. Marshall lived down the street. And I remember when he, was drafted and left. And I remember hearing, that he was wounded and he was coming home. That was a big thing. And then, my brother, his number was coming up for draft. And that was huge in our family because my parents had one son serving already. They did not want their second son to go. That was a lot. That was big in our family. It was big in the community. And in the 60s, we had the anti-war protests going, and it was a lot because I was proud to have my brother serving. And then you would see things on the news, and I heard firsthand what would happen in the airport when he would come home. And it wasn't right. They weren't welcomed home with a handshake and a hug. And here in the airport, if I'm taking a flight and there's a load of guys that are coming home for leave, everybody stands up and applauds. And it's wonderful. Honey, back then, they would spit at the soldiers. I have seen this happen with my own two eyes. They threw a cup of hot coffee on them. That's awful. They have been defending our country. They've been defending us, protecting us. And this was the thanks they got. And I witnessed this firsthand. And I remember it happened. And I remember grabbing my mom and burying my face in the skirt of her dress and crying because it scared the hell out of me. And they got me out of the airport as quickly as possible. But it was traumatic. The veterans I work with, the families, I will move heaven and earth for them, and they know it. I am here for them. I do everything I can. I am available to them night and day. After what they've done for us, it's the least I can do for them. They have come back with physical scars. Some are very horrific, missing arms, missing legs, burns, disfigurement. But in my opinion, as horrific as those wounds and scars are, the mental scars are worse. Physical scars, for the most part, can be dealt with. The scars in your heart and in your mind, that's kind of different. If you encounter a veteran, especially today, but any day, absolutely, positively, anytime you encounter a veteran, because some wear hats or jackets that have emblems, please always shake their hand, give them a hug, tell them thank you, sincerely tell them thank you. If your child is with you and they're wounded, they're missing an arm, they're missing a leg, they're in a wheelchair, they're walking with a cane, they're disfigured, it is okay for your child to walk up and ask them what happened. They will tell them the story, child appropriate, don't worry. But it's better than just staring. Ask. Allow your child to ask. Allow your child to give them a hug. I get emotional on this. I can't tell you how much this means to me, how much every one of these people mean to me. They're special in a good way. I love them to the moon and back. Thank a veteran. Hug a veteran. Happy birthday, U.S. Marine Corps.